Hi, it's Andy from BeyondGuitar, and in this video we are going to study all the major scales in first position on the guitar. So what are the major scales and how do you figure them out? That's what we're going to cover today. And don't worry, you don't have to be a great music reader to learn about this stuff. In fact, you don't have to read music at all. We're going to rely heavily on this chart right here. It's the letter chart. If you haven't learned your letters on the fretboard yet, you only have to learn the first 4 frets in order to play in first position. I'll make another video about memorizing the fretboard, but today let's just assume that you know the first 4 frets on the guitar, or you could find them on this guitar chart that we have on the screen. Okay, let's begin. So there are basically 12 major scales, although some people would argue that there are more. But let's just go through starting from the top. Here we go. Key of C. We got the key of C. In the key of C, you don't have any sharps or any flats. You just have the basic alphabet. Okay, let's look at our sheet music. Alright, so even if you can't read these notes right here, that's okay. I'll just write in the letters for you. This is a C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. A major scale in the key of C is C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Well, you can't get any easier than that. There's no black notes, there's no sharps or flats. You just play the alphabet. Start on C, go through the letters of the alphabet, end on C. Okay, now how do you play that on your guitar? Let's figure it out. Okay, first note C. Okay, look at your chart. Where's the lowest C that you could play on your guitar? By low, I mean lowest sound. When I say low, I'll never mean low toward the floor. I mean low as in low sound. Low and high will always be musical terms. I'll never refer to something that's low because it's close to the floor, or high because it's close to the ceiling. Low means low sound, high means high sound. So let's get that straight right away. Okay, so the lowest C you can play is fret 3 on string 5. Okay, remember your strings are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I know that seems a little bit backwards if you just started guitar, but that's the way guitar strings are numbered. Get used to it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're on string 5, fret 3. Let's write it in. 3rd fret, string 5. There's your first note. It's a C. Okay, now we're only using the first 4 frets of the guitar, so we're not going all over the place. We're not using the entire fretboard. We're sticking with the open strings and the first 4 frets. That's it. Never play fret 5 and beyond. That's what I mean by first position. This is the first position of the guitar, where you play the open strings. Fret 1, fret 2, fret 3, fret 4. That's it. That's first position. Okay, so we're going to find a D, and we're going to find it within the first 4 frets of the guitar. Alright, well, we'll use open D. Let's keep going. E is 2nd fret, string 4. F is right next door, 3rd fret, string 4. For G, we can use open G. So let's use an open string for that. We'll use the open string whenever we can. Okay, next note is A. Where is A? 2nd fret, string 3. Now we have the note B. We'll simply use open B. And then finally we have C, right next door. Fret 1, string 2. Okay, there's our C major scale. 3, 0, 2, 3, 0, 2, 0, 1. We have the tab. Okay, now what's the pattern? Okay, so it's a series of whole steps and half steps. Let's talk about that. So a whole step means you moved 2 frets, and a half step means you moved 1 fret. That's easy. Alright, so how far is it from a C to a D? How far did we go from the C to the D? Well, they're on different strings, so how do we measure that? Well, you could put them on the same string in order to figure it out. So if C is fret 3 and D is fret 5, then it's obvious. It's a 2-fret span. Okay, we're not actually going to play fret 5 in the scale. We're still going to play the open D. But we did that as an example to figure out how far is it from a C to a D. It's kind of hard to figure that out when the notes are on different strings. And so I like to put them on the same string, then you can figure it out. Okay? So C to D is a whole step. Let's mark that with a W. Whole step. Capital W stands for whole step. That's 2 frets. Okay, next note. Now we have D to E. Well, that's pretty obvious because 0 to 2, that's a whole step. Easy. Alright, now we have E to F. Okay, well this is obviously a half step. EF is a half step. So let's make a different mark on the sheet. We'll draw a little triangle shape so it looks different. And we'll just write simply a lowercase letter h. And so we have our half step there. Okay, keep going. So now how do you get from F to a G? Do you go up 1 fret or 2 frets? Well, if I'm on F and I go up 1 fret, I'm on F sharp. So if I go up 2 frets, I'm on G. You may have to use your handy dandy letter chart there to figure out F to G is 2 frets. It's a 2-fret space. So that is a whole step. Keep going. Okay, how far is it from G to A? Yet again, another whole step. Alright, how far is it from A to B? Well, you could play A on the 2nd fret, and you could play B on the 4th fret, and so that's going to be a whole step. Alright, and then finally, we have B to C, and those are next door neighbors. Those are close. Those are a half step. Alright, we have our major scale pattern. Every major scale in the whole world goes whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. There's your formula. Alright, now all we have to do is apply that formula to all the rest of the scales, and you'll figure out every major scale there is. Let's do it. Let's go through every single one. Here we go. We already did the key of C. Finished. Let's move on. Time to learn the key of G. Okay, if you can read music, you might notice that there's that sharp at the beginning there, at the beginning of the line. This is how musicians know what key the song is in. There's an F sharp right here at the beginning of the music. That sharp is on the top line of music. That's where you find F. So there's an F sharp in the key signature. Okay, does that mean we're in the key of F sharp? No, it just means that this key has an F sharp in it. So anytime you might encounter an F, you would play F sharp instead. Is that important? Well, it'll come into play more later, but let's just move on and figure out what are the notes in the key of G. Here we go. I'll tell you what, I'll give you the first one. It's G. Every scale starts on its name, you know. G scale is going to start on G. That's easy. G. Okay, if you go up a whole step, what do you get? Now you're on A. We're going to use every letter of the alphabet once. Here we go. If you play A and go up a whole step, what do you get? B. You know, let's write in the tab also as we go. G was open G. A was fret 2. B will use open B. Okay? And then now we need a half step. So from B to C is a half step. So now we're on C, fret 1. Okay. Now we need a whole step. What's a whole step up from C? It's D. 3rd fret, string 2. Okay, what's a whole step up from D? Well, I suppose you could slide up to the 5th fret, but we're not going to play the 5th fret. We're going to play open E. Okay, now we need another whole step. What's a whole step up from E? Don't say F. It's not F. It's F sharp. There's our F sharp. It's a whole step up from E. Here we are in the last note. It's a half step. What's a half step up from F sharp? It's a G. And we are back to the original note from the beginning of the scale. This is a G scale. Guess what? It starts on G and it ends on G. Your first note should be G. Your last note should be G. If you didn't start or end on G, something got messed up somewhere. You have to figure it out again. Okay, there's our G major scale. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. It has one black note in it. It has that one F sharp there. If we played it on a piano, it'd be all white notes except for that F sharp would be a black note. All right, let's keep going. We finished the key of G. It's time to move on. Let's do the key of D. All right, in the key of D, you have two sharps at the beginning. This one is a F sharp, and this one is a C sharp. Okay, so you automatically know that somewhere there inside those music notes, as we figure them out and play them, there's going to be an F sharp in there, and there's going to be a C sharp in there, and then all the other notes are just going to be the basic letters. Okay, you could probably figure it out now. So, you know, it starts on D, right? So we have D, and then E. Don't forget F sharp. Then we got G, A, B. Don't forget C sharp. Back to D. Hey, we figured it out without even having to do any math. Just say all the letters, throw in F sharp and C sharp, bam, you're done. Okay, but let's go through the formula with whole steps and half steps. Here we go. So we'll start on the music note D. We'll say it's open string D. Open D to start. Okay, what's a whole step up from D? The answer is E. Fret 2. String 4. What's a whole step up from E? You got to go 2 frets, okay? 2 frets up from E is F sharp. Hey, if you want to print out these sheets and work this out with a pencil, like I'm doing, I'll put the link below. You can just print these sheets off for free. Okay, I'm not even charging for it. You can just download it and work on your scales at home. All right, so keep going. We're on F sharp right now, and we need to go up a half step. It's time to play a half step. Okay, a half step up from F is, half step up from F sharp is G. We're not going to play fret 5 though. We're going to play open G. There we go. Okay, what's a whole step up from G? A. Fret 2. All right, what's a whole step up from A? The answer is B. If you don't know your letters on the first few frets, just use this handy dandy chord chart right there. It has all your letters, okay? Keep going. What's a whole step up from B? You got to take B and go up 2 frets. Okay, what note is that? That's C sharp. Okay, some students might say, but wait, Andy, that's D flat also, right? Can I say D flat? Okay, well, let's roll with it. Let's say, yep, that's D flat, okay? All right, what's the next note? Go a half step up, and now we're on D. Okay, what do we got? We have D, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, D flat, D. We use D twice. There are 2 Ds in the scale. Are there any Cs? No, we didn't use C. There are 0 C's. We didn't play a C in the scale, but we used D twice. Oops. Yeah, we want to use every letter of the alphabet once, and we don't want to use any letters twice. Okay, so there's not going to be a scale with a D and a D flat, or a D and a D sharp. We won't be using the letters twice like that. We'll just use each letter once. So in order to use each letter once, this has got to be a C sharp. There, now look at it. Now we have every letter of the alphabet appearing one time. You know, with the obvious exception of it starts on D and ends on D. But otherwise, we have all the letters used only one time. That's why I didn't write D flat here. Okay, and also another reason why I didn't use the term D flat for this note is because, hey, this key has sharps in it. It's very rare that we would ever mix sharps and flats in the same key or the same scale, okay? So if you start rolling with sharps, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, don't switch to flats halfway through it. So it's either going to be all sharps or it's going to be all flats. We're not going to have sharps and flats in the same scale, okay? So if you avoid having sharps and flats in the same scale and you work on, can I use each letter once, you'll figure all these out. All right, there's our D scale. You can say do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Or you can say the letters D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. There we go, there's a D scale. All right, let's do the next one. Hey, am I going in any kind of specific order, or am I just jumping around randomly throughout the alphabet? So far we've done C, then we did G, then we did D, now we're going to do A. Am I just jumping around randomly, or is there any sense to the order that we're going in? Why did I choose this particular order? Here's the answer. C has 0 sharps or flats. G has 1 sharp in it. D has 2 sharps in it. A is going to have, you guessed it, 3 sharps in it. Okay, I'm going in order. I'm adding 1 sharp each time. A is going to have 3 sharps. Okay, the next one's going to have 4 sharps. The next one's going to have 5 sharps. So we're just going in order of the sharps. We're adding 1 sharp each time. And it's just a systematic way to do it that really does make sense as you go. Alright, so we have the 3 sharps in the key of A. I tell you what, I'll give you the first note. It's an A. Alright, 2nd fret, string 3. Okay, now as you play this scale, you're going to have the same sharps we had in the key of D. Okay, you're going to have an F sharp and a C sharp in it. See, there they are right there. That's F sharp. There's C sharp. Same as before, right? Same 2 sharps we had before. The sharps just add up. At first we had just F sharp. Then we had F sharp and C sharp. Now we're going to have F sharp and C sharp and G sharp. We're going to add 1 each time. It's not 3 brand new sharps that are totally different than before. It's the ones we had in the last key plus 1 new one. Alright, so this key is going to have an F sharp, a C sharp, and a G sharp within the scale. There are going to be 3 sharps here. Okay, let's do it. Here we go. We start on the music note A. Okay, let's use our formula. Go up a whole step. What's a whole step up from A? I hope you said B. Let's use open B. Alright, what's a whole step up from B? Don't say D flat. Okay, it's C sharp. It's got to be C sharp. 2nd fret, string 2, is C sharp, okay? Keep going. Now we need a half step. What's a half step higher than C sharp? answer is D. Okay, keep going. We need a whole step now. What's a whole step up from D? Well, if you play D and you go up 2 frets, you end up on E. But you know, we're not going to play E on the 5th fret, we'll just play the open string. Some guitar teachers would tell you, oh, if you play a note on one string and then you go to the next string and go down 3 frets, hey, that's a whole, that's a whole step. Yeah, I'm already confused. Can we just put it all on the same string so that we can see a line of notes all in one progression? Otherwise, it's too confusing, okay? So, put D and E on the same string. What do you get? D is here, E is here. That's 2 frets. I can figure that out easily without having to think very hard. D, E, whole step, 2 frets, bam. Except, you know, I just don't want to play this E on the 5th fret. I'll just play open E. Done. Open E. Alright, keep going. Now we need, according to our formula, a whole step. What's a whole step higher than E? Remember, when I say higher, I don't mean move toward the ceiling. I mean make the pitch of the music notes rise. So, a whole step up from E is F sharp. We're going to play it on fret 2. Let's continue. We need another whole step. What's a whole step up from F sharp? The answer is G sharp, fret 4. Okay, and here we are, we're on the very last note of the scale. What's a half step up from G sharp? It's got to be A. We're playing an A scale. The first note is A, the last note is A. Okay, so, hey, I thought we weren't going to go up to the 5th fret. Okay, well, you know, A is the only key where you kind of need that note on the 5th fret to complete the scale. I guess we could have played a low octave A scale. But for this exercise, it's fine just to play what we have here up to the 5th fret. That's okay. Alright, let's continue. Let's move on. Alright, let's figure out the next key. I'm going to tell you a pattern that you can learn to figure out this order that we're going in. Okay, so it's the fifth letter every time. It's the 5th note every time, okay? What's the 5th note of a C scale? Well, it is a G. Okay, what's the key that we're going to play next? The key of G. What's the 5th note of a G scale? Well, it's a D. Okay, what's the next key we're going to study? The key of D. What's the 5th note of a D scale? It's an A. What's the next key we're going to study? What do you know? Key of A. What's the 5th note of an A scale? It is indeed an E. What's the next key to study? Key of E. You guessed it. It's the key of E. Here we go. Alright, so let's start on 2nd fret, string 4, which is the letter E. Okay, this time I'm not gonna start with talking about the sharps and stuff where you read the music and figure those out. Let's just use the whole step, half step formula and figure this out. Ready, go. What's a whole step up from E? The answer is F sharp. We're going to play fret 4, string 4. Okay, what's a whole step up from F sharp? Well, F sharp's on fret 4. To go up a whole step would land us on a 6th fret, G sharp. We need a G sharp. Okay, but we're not going to play fret 6. We'll just play G sharp over here instead, because we're going to stick with playing the first 5 frets of the guitar. So we're not going up to fret 6. We'll just find this G sharp over here. Fret 1. string 3, G sharp. Okay, now we need a half step. What's a half step higher than G sharp? The answer is A, fret 2. What's a whole step up from A? The answer is B. What's a whole step up from B? The answer is C sharp. We'll play fret 2, string 2. Okay, what's a whole step up from C sharp? The answer is D sharp, fret 4, string 2. We're on the final note. What's a half step up from D sharp? The answer is E. But let's not play the 5th fret E. Let's just keep it easy and just play the open E. Open E. There we go. We just played an E scale. Here we go. Okay, you'll see that it does have these sharps in it. It has your F sharp, it has your G sharp, it has your C sharp, it has your D sharp. There are 4 sharps there. And those match the 4 sharps that are here that we see at the beginning. F sharp. This one is a C sharp. This one is a G sharp. This one is a D sharp. There we go. Okay, we successfully completed the first few keys, so let's keep going. So we left off on E, and so now, what's the 5th note of an E scale? And that will tell us what the next key is. The 5th note of an E scale is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one, B. The next key to study is the key of B. Here we go. Let's do it. Where's the note B? Fret 2, string 5. Wow, it's going to have a lot of sharps, isn't it? It's going to have a ton of sharps. Here we go. Alright, what's a whole step up from B? C sharp, fret 4, string 5. What's a whole step up from C sharp? It's one of those things where we played the 4th fret. To go a whole step, you need fret 6. That's a D sharp. Okay, but we're not going to play the D sharp up here in fret 6. We're going to play it over here so that we can stay within the first few frets of the guitar. So this D sharp right here is fret 1. Here we go. Okay, continue. Half step now. A half step higher than D sharp is the letter E. Fret 2. Keep going. What's a whole step higher than E? The answer is F sharp. Fret 4. What's a whole step higher than F sharp? Once again, we got that G sharp on fret 6, but we're going to play it on fret 1. Alright, what's a whole step higher than G sharp? The answer is A sharp. Fret 3. Alright, we're at the last note. What's a half step higher than A sharp? The answer is B. Let's just use open B. There we go. There's your notes in the key of B. There are 5 sharps in there. That's a lot. Let's do the next couple keys. There's only a couple left here with the sharps, so let's continue on. Alright, what's our next key? Well, if you figure out the 5th letter of the previous key, you'll know the answer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here it is. The next key that we're going to study is the key of F sharp. Here we go. I'll give you the first note. It's an F sharp. Okay, this one gets a little weird in one spot and takes a little bit of explanation. Okay, and so this is hard to figure out. And so I'm going to guide you through it, all right? When we get to the end of the scale, the last note, it's going to be a little bit tricky, but I'll be your guide and help you figure this out. Here we go. First, let's begin on the note F sharp. That's fret 4, string 4. Okay, what's a whole step up from F sharp? G sharp. We're playing it on fret 1, string 3. What's a whole step up from G sharp? A sharp, fret 3. Okay, what's a half step up from A sharp? The answer is B. We'll use open B. What's a whole step up from B? C sharp, fret 2, string 2. What's a whole step up from C sharp? D sharp, fret 4. Uh-oh, here's where it gets a little bit weird. Okay, here we go. What's a whole step up from D sharp? Well, kind of it's F, right? F. Darn, we can't use F though, because the next note we automatically know it's the end of the scale. It's going to be F sharp, okay? You can't have F and F sharp in the same scale. You can't use the same letter twice. What letter didn't we use yet? Okay, the letter we did not use is E. Alright, so we're going to call this F that's part of the scale, we're going to say that that note is E sharp. That note's E sharp. Alright, even though everybody knows that's really an F, okay, it's one fret higher than E, therefore it's E sharp. We're just going to say E sharp, okay? We're going to play it on fret 1, string 1. Okay, and then our F sharp, we'll play fret 2. And there is our F sharp scale. And the letters are F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F sharp. There, we used every letter once. And there it is. Hey, it has 6 sharps and there's 7 letters. There's only one note in there that's a basic letter, and that's B. All the other notes are sharps. Alright, we're not done yet. There's one key left with sharps, and then you've completed every key there is with sharps. Whew! That's a lot. Keep going. Finish this last scale, and then you'll know all the sharp scales. Alright, what is the next key? Well, if you study the 5th letter from the previous key, you'll find the answer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. C sharp is the answer. We are now going to learn the key of C sharp. Alright, and it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It has 7 sharps. Wait a second. There's only 7 notes in music. There's only 7 letters in music. Alright, well, all 7 letters are going to be a sharp this time. Every single one of them. Alright, here we go. First note, C sharp. C sharp is fret 4, string 5. Alright, what's a whole step up from that note? The answer is D sharp, which I found by going up to fret 6, but I don't want to play fret 6. I want to play fret 1, because we're keeping it in first position. Alright, and now we need another whole step. What's a whole step up from D sharp? Hey, here's that thing we just talked about a minute ago. It's happening again. It's F, but we're going to call it E sharp. Fret 3. Alright, let's continue. Now we need a half step. Alright, well there's fret 4, F sharp. Alright, continue. Now we need a whole step. And the answer is G sharp, which we will play on fret 1. Now we need to go up another whole step. Okay, A sharp, fret 3. And now we need another whole step. Okay, here we go again. What's a whole step up from A sharp? Well, according to our handy dandy chart there, it's a C. Okay, but we don't want to say C because the last note of the scale is going to be C sharp. And now we have two C's, and we never even used a B anywhere in the scale. We want to use every letter once. We don't want to use any letters twice. Alright, so this C, I know it's a C, you know it's a C. We're just going to say, though, we're just going to call it a B sharp. Alright, that note is a B sharp. And we'll say that it's fret 1 on string 2. There we go. Now we've completed the scale with a C sharp at the end, and we have our C sharp scale complete. There we go. Alright, so this video turned out to be pretty long. Wow, we're at about 36 minutes or so. I guess I'll do the flat keys in the next video. Alright, but before we end the video though, let's play all the sharp scales all the way through together. We spent that whole time writing it. It would be a shame if we didn't actually play it and hear the sound of it. Here we go. Play a C scale. Ready, go. And backwards too. You might want to say the letters and, you know, work on your memorization. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. Thank you, everybody. Good night. All right, now play a G scale. Ready, go. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, G, F sharp, E, D, C, B, A, G. Now play a D scale. Ready, go. D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D, D, C sharp, B, A, G, F sharp, E, D. Now play an A scale. Ready, go. A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, G sharp, F sharp, E, D, C sharp, B, A. And now let's play an E scale together. Ready, go. E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, D sharp, C sharp, B, A, G sharp, F sharp, E. And now the next page. Now let's play a B scale. Ready, go. B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, A sharp, G sharp, F sharp, E, D sharp, C sharp, B. And now let's play a F sharp scale together. Ready, go. F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F sharp, F sharp, E sharp, D sharp, C sharp, B, A sharp, G sharp, F sharp. And now let's play the final scale, a C sharp major scale. Ready, set, go. C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B sharp, C sharp, C sharp, B sharp, A sharp, G sharp, F sharp, E sharp, D sharp, C sharp. The end. You've learned every single one of those 7 major scales, including sharps. Okay, so now I'll make another video that does all the major scales but with flats. So there's 7 scales you can learn with flats. We'll study that next time. Be sure to drop a like and a subscribe for today's video, and I hope you found value in it. Again, just look in the description. You can find a link to print these sheets out for free. You can work them out with a pencil at home. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye-bye.